the craziest island on the planet where men must always try to become women. There's a place on Earth where you won't believe your eyes. That is Samoa. It's a tropical paradise, bathed in golden sunlight, surrounded by crystal-clear blue waters and infused with mystical fire-dancing rituals. But that's just the beginning. What will truly leave you speechless is the fact that here, boys are raised like girls. In Samoan society, gender is not bound by rigid norms. Boys grow up learning and taking on roles traditionally reserved for women in the family. They cook, wear skirts, and perhaps most astonishingly, they all must get tattoos. But what's even more shocking is that in Samoa, forgetting your wife's birthday is a serious mistake, one that could land a man in jail. Now let's dive into 18 fascinating and strange facts about Samoa, a destination unlike anywhere else on the planet. 17. Forgetting your wife's birthday can land you in jail. Forgetting your wife's birthday may not seem like a big deal in many places. If criticized, a husband might simply be labeled as forgetful or irresponsible. However, in Samoa, this seemingly small oversight is taken much more seriously. The island nation has made it clear that if a husband forgets his wife's birthday, it could be considered a crime. As a result, many Samoan husbands go to great lengths to ensure they never forget this important date. Some even tattoo their wife's birthday on their arms or palms as a permanent reminder, fearing the wrath of their wives. According to Samoan law, forgetting your wife's birthday can lead to serious consequences, ranging from fines to more severe punishments like divorce or even jail time. Many believe this unusual law was implemented partly to protect vulnerable women, while others see it as a reminder for husbands to honor the special day of the person who will stand by them for life. Some interpretations suggest that remembering a wife's birthday is a way to show gratitude towards the parents who raised a worthy life partner for the men. When reading about this law, many point out the absurdities and contradictions in its enforcement. For example, how can the government enforce such a law without a formal complaint from the wife? What kind of evidence would be required in court to prove such a claim? Despite these logical concerns, the law still exists and is enforced in Samoa today. People often joke that in order to live happily, Samoan husbands should worship their wives. A combination of love, respect, and perhaps a healthy fear of their spouses. It's safe to say that Samoa is a place where this is taken very seriously. Would you get your wife's birthday tattooed on your arm for safety, or perhaps you'll be setting a million reminders on your phone right now? Share your thoughts in the comments below the video. Traditional Samoan homes only have a roof. The relationships within the Samoan community are deeply nurtured by culture. In Samoa, there is a strong belief that there should be no secrets between people. That's why the homes on this mystical island have no room partitions, no fences, and no doors or walls. Some houses are simply open-roofed shelters designed to protect from rain and sun. These homes are often oval or circular, supported by wooden columns with palm leaves used as makeshift curtains to shield the inhabitants from the elements. It's clear that the people of Samoa have little fear of theft or danger. They place complete trust in one another. Visitors to Samoa are often taken aback when they see these unique homes. Many are amazed to discover that, in today's world, finding a place as pure and untouched as Samoa is a rarity. It's not the women, but the young men of the family who are responsible for preparing traditional meals. Every Sunday, the men in the village wake up before dawn, using an oven called an ALU to cook fish, slice meat, crack open coconuts, and heat the stove long before most people are awake. Taro and coconut are some of the most common crops grown in Samoa. Samoans harvest these from taro plantations and coconut groves along the country's coastline. But taro and coconut are not the only ingredients that make up these delicious local meals. The natives also incorporate other staple crops such as bananas, breadfruit, yams, cacao, pineapples, and mangoes into their luxurious dishes. What do you think about the tradition of Samoan men waking up early to prepare food for their families? Do you support this tradition? Share your thoughts in the comments below the video. One of the most surprising customs in this island nation is that men often wear skirts, and this includes the police. So why is this the case? Well, it's simply for comfort. The traditional Samoan garment, called a lava or sulu, is a cultural symbol of the nation and is widely accepted across the islands. The Fa'afafine are a third gender recognized in Samoa, neither male nor female by Western standards but fully accepted and respected by Samoan society. This gender role has existed for centuries and is deeply rooted in Samoan tradition. The Fa'afafine are often boys in families with many sons, and they are encouraged to take on tasks typically assigned to women, such as domestic chores and caregiving. They may choose to wear women's clothing to fulfill these responsibilities, something that in modern society would be traditionally delegated to women. Some may view this gender identity as open and accepting, while others may define themselves as homosexual. However, historically, the concept of Fa'afafine was not related to sexuality, but instead to their roles in family and society. One common Western theory suggests that Fa'afafine are simply the youngest sons in families with more boys than girls. In these families, the youngest male is raised as a girl to take on the female roles within the household. How do you feel about this fascinating tradition? Share your thoughts with us. No pointing your feet at others in Samoa. Pointing your feet at someone is considered an incredibly disrespectful act, especially when elders, guests, or important community figures are present. What might seem like a small gesture is actually seen as a sign of deep disrespect because it implies disregard for the person you're sitting with. The concept of mana is central to Samoan culture, and showing respect, especially to those in positions of authority or the elderly, is crucial for maintaining balance and harmony in the community. Most homes in Samoa feature a fail, a traditional open structure with a thatched roof, where families gather to socialize, celebrate, and often share meals. Fail are usually equipped with mats on the floor where people sit together in a communal fashion. Here, posture isn't just about comfort, it's also about showing respect for others. To avoid offending anyone, particularly elders, it's customary not to sit with your feet pointing toward others. Instead, Samoans prefer sitting cross-legged or tucking their feet underneath them. Another option is to cover your feet with a lava, a traditional sarong or mat, ensuring you don't expose your toes while respecting the personal space of those around you. Why is pointing your toes considered disrespectful? It's believed that your feet, being the lowest and most humble part of your body, should not be directed toward others. Pointing your toes at someone is seen as an expression of disrespect, and it can be interpreted as a sign of arrogance, indifference, or even disdain. Tattooing is a serious craft here. Samoan culture is rich, profound, and rooted in Polynesian traditions. Activities like music, tattooing, and dancing are an integral part of daily life in Samoa. One of the most significant customs is the pea tattoo for men, or the malu tattoo for women. These intricate tattoos span from the waist to the knees and are a symbol of honor. For men, these tattoos represent dignity and are a crucial rite of passage into adulthood. This tradition, known as tatau, is a spiritual and cultural heritage of Samoa. In fact, the Samoans are some of the world's earliest tattoo artists, widely regarded as among the best. They use traditional tools made from bone, ivory, shark teeth, shells, and wood to slowly carve the tattoos into the skin. The process can take up to 2 weeks, and the person being tattooed must have a supporter by their side throughout the ordeal. A Samoan man with a traditional tattoo gains respect within the village and may even rise to become a chief. On the other hand, an incomplete tattoo is considered a source of shame for the family. If you've ever watched films like You'll surely remember Maui's bold tattoo, and that is a direct reflection of Polynesian tattoo culture. No venomous snakes or spiders. One of the first things you'll notice about Samoa is the complete absence of venomous snakes slithering through the brush. While snakes are common in many tropical regions, Samoa is one of the few places where they don't pose a significant threat. A small number of non-venomous snake species exist on the islands, and they are completely harmless to humans. This makes hiking through dense rainforests and walking along natural trails a much more relaxing experience, as you don't have to constantly worry about stepping on a venomous snake. Similarly, when it comes to spiders, Samoa is incredibly fortunate. While spiders are a common sight in many tropical destinations, the Samoan archipelago has no venomous species that pose a serious threat to humans. While you may come across a few large, intimidating-looking spiders, you won't find dangerous creatures like the black widow or Brazilian wandering spider here. Hotels and resorts in Samoa are free from the fear of venomous spiders lurking in corners or hiding in shoes, making it a more comfortable destination for those with arachnophobia or a general fear of creepy crawling creatures. Many Samoans live abroad. With a national population of nearly 200,000, it's interesting to note that almost double that number of Samoans live outside of Samoa, primarily in Australia, New Zealand, and the United States. While Samoa is one of the most beautiful places on Earth, life on an island also has its limitations, and access to better opportunities can be difficult. In fact, families often encourage the younger generation to migrate abroad, settle there, and eventually send back any earnings to support large family networks in villages back home. With remittances accounting for nearly 20% of Samoa's GDP, these cross-border connections are crucial for many families, although they are increasingly becoming a burden for some. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. An interesting aspect of Samoan culture is the perception of body size. Traditionally, a larger physique has been associated with prosperity, good health, and happiness. In the past, village chiefs were often allowed to eat more abundantly as a symbol of their wealth and status. A prime example of this cultural appreciation of size is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's proudly Samoan, born to a family with a Samoan mother and a father of African-Canadian descent. This former wrestler is now one of Hollywood's biggest stars. In fact, wrestling runs in the Johnson family's DNA, with his father being a former wrestling star, and several Samoan relatives also involved in the sport. Proud of his Samoan roots, Johnson was even honored with a prestigious Samoan title during a visit in 2004, recognizing his service to the people of Samoa and his bloodline linking him to former Samoan chiefs. One of Samoa's most captivating traditions is fire dancing. Although today it's a major tourist attraction, this stunning performance holds deep cultural significance and originates from Samoa's history. Traditionally, fire dancing was performed before warriors went into battle, seeking protection from the gods, and after a victory, to give thanks to the deities. The dancers, with their incredible skill and precision, twirl fire torches, lighting up the night sky in a mesmerizing and graceful display. This ancient art form not only offers a visual feast for the eyes, but also connects modern-day Samoa to its spiritual past, keeping the fire of tradition alive in the most dramatic of ways. Samoa is a dream destination for those seeking unforgettable experiences, with stunning beaches, soft white sands, and a refreshing tropical breeze. Here, you can relax on the beach, explore lush rainforests, or immerse yourself in the majestic beauty of volcanic mountains. Whether you want to unwind or reconnect with nature, Samoa offers everything you need. Your journey begins in Apia, Samoa's charming capital, where you'll immediately feel the warm, laid-back atmosphere of a Pacific island. In Apia, you can visit a range of fascinating sites, such as the Grand Movie Church, the iconic clock tower, and the distinctive cultural heritage of Samoa. Just a 45-minute drive from Apia is the Pula Cave Pool, a natural freshwater pool nestled beneath a cave, beloved by locals as the perfect escape from the heat. A trip to Samoa wouldn't be complete without visiting the Tosua Ocean Trench, a unique natural wonder. This volcanic swimming hole, around 30 meters deep, boasts crystal-clear waters surrounded by lush vegetation. You can climb down a wooden ladder to enjoy the stunning scenery of this serene aquatic haven. Continue exploring the island's southeastern tip, where you'll find Lano Beach, praised as one of the most beautiful beaches in Samoa. With its transparent waters, peaceful atmosphere, and verdant surroundings, Lano Beach is the perfect spot to escape the hustle and bustle of daily life. One of Samoa's main islands also offers a more challenging adventure compared to Upolu, with dense rainforests and pristine beaches ideal for diving. But don't stop there. Be sure to visit the Saga Falls to marvel at the dramatic beauty of these magnificent waterfalls, one of Samoa's most breathtaking landscapes. If you're passionate about marine life, don't miss the Giant Clam Sanctuary, where you can witness giant clams weighing up to 400 pounds thriving in their natural environment. A quick glance at the map reveals an intriguing fact. The two Samoa Islands lie almost side by side with similar landscapes, yet are clearly different. First, American Samoa is an unincorporated territory of the United States with its bustling capital, Pago Pago. However, today we're exploring a different place, Samoa, a fully independent nation with just one city, Apia, as its capital. This island paradise consists of two main islands, Upolu and Savaii, along with several uninhabited smaller islands that seem untouched by time. The two Samoan Islands are only about 100 miles apart, a quick 40-minute flight, yet they are separated by 24 hours in time zones due to their strategic position in the Pacific. Samoa is one of the first places in the world to greet the new day. Ironically, Samoa used to share the same time zone as California as part of their shared history. This resulted in a time difference as large as 21 hours, compared to places like Sydney, Australia. To resolve this, in December 2011, Samoa made the bold decision to skip an entire day. They jumped straight from December 29th to December 31st, and December 30th, 2011, simply disappeared from the calendar. While cricket is a centuries-old sport originating from England, the Samoans have taken this traditional game and transformed it into a unique and vibrant version known as kilikiti. While the basic concepts, like batting, fielding and bowling, remain the same, the game has evolved to suit the pace and lifestyle of the Samoan people. In traditional cricket, there are established rules regarding team size, gender restrictions and uniforms. However, in kilikiti, these formalities are cheerfully set aside. Whether you're in a small village or a bustling town, if the entire community wants to play, they can. There are no official limits on team size or gender. Men, women and children can play together, making it a truly inclusive game. You can gather an entire village for a match, with everyone from the youngest to the oldest participating. In this way, kilikiti becomes not just a game, but a celebration of community and family. Unlike the formal cricket uniforms, which include sweaters, pads, and specialized gear worn by international cricket stars, kilikiti is played in much more casual attire. No need for tight, uncomfortable sweaters or all-white clothes. Players typically wear whatever is comfortable, including casual island wear and sometimes even go barefoot. In Samoa, kilikiti is not just a game, it's an opportunity to socialize, bond, and enjoy the great outdoors. Matches often take place in the evening after a day's work and can last for hours, with players and spectators laughing and cheering each other on. Has anyone here read? Feel free to share with me. In 1882, Scottish author Robert Louis Stevenson published a novel that still sparks the imagination today. Stricken by tuberculosis, Stevenson moved to Samoa in 1890, hoping the tropical climate would ease his suffering. He built a beautiful estate at the foot of Mount Vaya, complete with a spacious veranda and even a fireplace. Stevenson immersed himself in local life, becoming a vocal supporter of the Samoan people against the colonial powers of the time. He was greatly admired by the locals and even adopted the Samoan name Tatala, meaning storyteller in Samoan. Sadly, Stevenson passed away in 1894, and as per his wishes, was buried at the summit of Mount Via, overlooking the Pacific Ocean. His estate is now the Robert Louis Stevenson Museum. His legacy and connection to Samoa remain deeply cherished, as his life's work continues to be celebrated by the people of the island. Samoa places a deep respect on hierarchy and elders, which influences every aspect of daily life. This cultural system is known as, or the Samoan Way. At the heart of is the importance of family, especially the extended family or. Unlike many Western cultures that emphasize individualism, life in Samoa is largely focused on the community. The actions and aspirations of Samoans are often rooted in the collective welfare of their families. In fact, the size and strength of one's family often determine their social standing, reinforcing the idea that personal success is secondary to the success of the collective. Not only affects social activities, but is also closely tied to the political system of the island nation. The Chiefs Council still holds significant power in local governance, ensuring that traditional practices remain strong in modern society. Both Samoan and English are seen as essential tools for economic prosperity and social development in Samoa. The country's education system promotes bilingualism, helping to preserve and foster the native language alongside English, ensuring a harmonious balance between tradition and progress. Research into Samoa's colonial history, from the German colonial period in the late 19th century to New Zealand's administration of the islands in the early 20th century, revealed how colonial legacies have shaped the nation's language policies. While Samoan remains the dominant language, English has increasingly taken a prominent role, especially in government activities under New Zealand's rule. Though there is no official law designating a primary language in Samoa, the country's constitution stipulates that both Samoan and English are equally important. The constitution mentions areas like ceremonies, the judiciary, and media, where both languages are used interchangeably. English is considered the language of global knowledge and international communication, providing Samoans with greater access to job opportunities, education, and participation in international business. Proficiency in English is a significant advantage for Samoans, opening doors to economic opportunities, study abroad, and involvement in global fields. Let's rewind about 1,500 years to when the first Polynesian navigators arrived and settled in Samoa. These early explorers didn't just find a home, they began building a lasting community and heritage. However, it wasn't until the 19th century that Europeans began leaving a more significant mark on the islands, notably with the arrival of Christian missionaries in the 1830s. Their efforts helped introduce Christianity to the Samoan community, a key element of Samoan society to this day. By the late 1800s, Samoa became the focal point of a territorial dispute between the United States, Germany, and Britain, leading to the Berlin Treaty of 1899, which divided the islands into two parts. The western part, now known as Samoa, was formerly governed by Germany and later New Zealand, while the eastern part remains under U.S. jurisdiction as American Samoa. After World War I, New Zealand continued to administer Western Samoa under the League of Nations mandate. Finally, Samoa declared its independence in 1962, and in 1997, the country officially dropped Western from its name to signify its maturity and sovereignty. Today, Samoa is home to nearly 200,000 people. In recent years, the nation has made impressive strides in socio-economic development. Agriculture remains the backbone of the economy, with over 60% of Samoans employed in this sector producing staple crops like taro coconut and bananas. Tourism has also become a vital economic driver, drawing visitors from around the world to experience its pristine beaches, crystal-clear waters, and rich cultural heritage. Despite its remote location in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, the natural beauty and resilient hospitality of the Samoan people make it an unmissable destination. And there we have it, a deep dive into the fascinating island of Samoa where boys are raised like girls. What do you think about the intriguing facts I've shared above? Or perhaps you know other interesting tidbits about Samoa. Feel free to drop a comment and share your thoughts. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos. See you in the next one.